Swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Be seated. State your name and residence, then you may begin with a statement.
My name is John Loengard. I have no current address. Less than 5 hours ago, I was threatened at gunpoint against testifying before this commission. This is not the first time that powerful people have tried to silence the truth. I came to Washington, D.C. after President Kennedy's election, along with my girlfriend, Kimberly Sayers, who's here with me today. I found a job working for my hometown congressman, the late Charles Pratt.
Sir, I can take that now. Sorry, Mark, I should have delivered this yesterday like you asked.
Loengard, you make sure those people know that I personally called in that favor?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Loengard. I owe you one.
Shortly after that, I was given a promotion as a researcher. My first assignment took me to Ohio to the Air Force office of Project Blue Book.
You're not planning on going through them all, are you?
Never leave a stone unturned.
They're broken down into categories. You got your lights in the sky, which are usually airplanes of the planet Venus. You got your photos, which are usually fakes. And then you got your contactees, which are always wackos.
Contactees?
You know, the ones who see the little green men and then go for a joyride in their spaceship.
The congressman wanted me to find a program that he could suggest cutting, and, well, flying saucers seemed like a good idea.
Mr. Chief Justice, I am here to investigate the death of our beloved president, not to hear some cockamamie story about little green men.
They're gray, Alan. You should know that.
What the hell's going on here? Do you know this man?
I've never laid eyes on that man in my entire life.
Sir, this commission has a limited amount of patience. Please come to the point.
Yes, sir. Next, my research landed me in New Hampshire, where I went to interview a couple, Betty and Barney Hill, who claimed to have been taken aboard a flying saucer. Now, although their story seemed rather fantastic, I found them to be quite credible.
I went out into a field with the binoculars. When I looked through those windows, I saw about a half dozen living beings looking back at me.
You mean people?
I mean living beings.
That same night when I was driving home, I was basically attacked.
Attacked by a flying saucer.
No, sir. I was attacked and threatened by men who work for the United States government.
Get his tape.
Who are you?
I am nothing but a figment of your imagination because this incident never happened. You drove home uneventfully. Tomorrow, you will file a report with Pratt, telling him Blue Book doesn't cost enough to merit his attention.
You want me to put him to bed?
What? What? What are you doing? I haven't done anything. Help! Help!
Mr. Loengard!
What?
Keep your nose out of our business, or next time we'll make a house call.
Mr. Chief Justice, may I address the witness directly? I wish to warn you, young man, that you're treading on very dangerous ground here. This commission operates under presidential authority, and when you lie to us, you're committing perjury, and when you perjure yourself, you will go to jail.
For God's sake, Alan. This isn't an inquisition. This man is here at the request of the president's brother. Now, Mr. Loengard, I'm Congressman Gerald Ford. Now, do you or don't you have evidence that relates to the death of President Kennedy?
Yes, sir, I do, and that's why I'm here.
I urge you to give us your relevant testimony.
Thank you. The Majestic 12 operational structure draws heavily on naval intelligence, although members of all service branches seem to
What's he
operate...
saying now?
More to the point, what isn't he saying? Obviously, Juliet didn't work. He's already fingered you by name, Frank, chapter and verse. We could have killed him 100 times.
He's digging his own grave.
Can I have a word with you? With all due respect, Frank, that is the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court that Lowengart's talking.
He's got no physical evidence, no corroborating testimony at all.
He's got the Attorney General.
He's not after us. He's after Kennedy's killer. We both know that's Oswald.
People can smell the truth, Frank. The only way to keep him away from it is to light a fire in the same room.
Phil, you're worried about it. Get a team on it right now.
Stupid son. I want everything we got on Lowengard, everything.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lowengarde, I'm confused. Who exactly created this Majestic 12 and to do what?
President Truman did in 1947, sir.
Good God. That thing just spoke to me. They just demanded our unconditional surrender.
This took place at the Roswell Army Air Base in Roswell, New Mexico. Truman decided to fight back, and the ship was shot down. Basically, gentlemen, all the stories you've heard are true.
We're going on the offensive, men. And if we live through this, I want him in charge of cleaning up this mess.
Frank Bach was placed in charge of covering up the entire Roswell incident. And it was Frank Bach who recruited me into Majestic 12. I thought it had something to do with the Cold War.
You tell me, Mr. Lowengarde. Does this look Russian to you?
On my first assignment for Majestic, we went to Idaho to investigate a strange crop marking in a field. This was 1962. During the investigation, the farmer who owned the field was killed. During an autopsy, it was discovered that that farmer had an alien organism rooted in his brain that was identical to the ones found in the graves from the Roswell crash. One of those alien organisms infected a Majestic agent. That agent, Jim Steele, is now a member of the Alien Hive. He also shot at the president from behind a grass embankment across the street from where Lee Harvey Oswald was positioned. Later, he gave the order to Jack Ruby to silence Oswald.
I know it.
Jim Steele's position at Majestic cannot be compromised.
Why don't you just pay somebody like we did the Kennedy hit?
Jack Ruby is a friend to the police. That's why he was chosen. It's his destiny.
Jimmy, if I shoot him, they put me away forever. Listen to me, Jimmy. I love my life. I love the club. I love the broads. And Jack Ruby's not ready to give any of it up yet.
We must increase our presence within him.
Let's just hold it right there. Mr. Chief Justice, members of the commission, I think we're simply being embarrassed now. I would like to dismiss this witness.
I have to agree.
This entire day's been a huge insult to our work and to the president's memory.
Mr. Dulles, I think a man my brother had to fire for insubordination is hardly the person to be the guardian of his memory.
Mr. Attorney General, surely you're no longer suggesting this man is a credible witness.
I know how this must sound, but I have seen hard evidence, and Jack saw it too.
Well, if this evidence exists, bring it forward.
It is now back in the possession of Majestic, and if you want it, you must use your considerable legal powers to compel the testimony of the leader of that rogue organization.
You actually want this committee to act now as if we believe in flying saucers.
Ask Franklin P. Bach. He most certainly does.
You want to know when Lowengarde got the measles? You want to know what he got his girlfriend for Christmas? We got it covered.
must feel sorry for the kid.
I'll tell you, Frank, I had a harder time cramming for midterms at the academy.
Sometimes I think it would have been kinder just to kill him.
You can still make the call.
Nah, this way's better. No fingerprints.
I'm gonna get some coffee.
My name is John Lowengarth. I'm recording this because we may not live through the night. They're here, they're hostile, and powerful people don't want you to know. History as we know it is a lie.